Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to our January challenge called A Fragment of Your Imagination. This challenge was created by 7 Forests, 5 Rivers. They are on social media platforms. They also have a website. And for this challenge, they created a beautiful pamphlet that you can download or you can print, and it has all of the information about the challenge, the creators of it, and links to all 31 of their fragment prompts. So such a great resource. I highly recommend you getting that. I'm doing my fragments on something that I created because I wanted a place to, I draw them in my sketchbook as well, but I wanted a place to sort of create a collection. And so this is going to be a collection of 31 small paper tiles. I printed this out on cardstock so I can cut them out when I am finished, and I can poke a hole in the corner, and I will keep this little booklet of fragments, and it's nice and small, and I can take it wherever I go. Okay, so this was the first page, our first 12 days, and I have not cut them out yet, but they look pretty amazing. And then this is the next 12 days. So yesterday was the 13th, and we did ICSI, and then today is January 14th. So I'm using my Micron pen. I have a little graphite pencil and a blending tool to do some shading. All of these 3 materials are available on zentangle.com. If you would like to print out this little chart here, the link is in the description of this video. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a piece of scrap paper because for this one, when I created all of these little reticula, I knew the shape was going to be a circle shape, and so I just designed something, and then the triangles, I played around with a few different ideas, but I didn't really know yet what we were putting in them. So for this one, we're just going to make our pattern one time, which is not a lot of practice. So let's make it a few times on our scrap paper first. Okay, so let's look. This one is called Loopz. Don't let your yarn get in a tangle. Instead, loop it with Loopz. And this was created, let me write her name here. I don't know how to pronounce this. She is a CZT. Okay. All right, so this is called Loopz, and in her description, she talks about being someone who loves to work with yarn. She does, I don't remember if it's crocheting, I don't remember, or knitting maybe, but she works with yarn, and she designed this just when her yarn was sitting there and it was in all these different little loops. So that was the inspiration behind this. Okay, so to create this one, we start with kind of a fescue shape. So fescue was from day 2, and that's just going to be like a curve with a loop at the end. I'm going to make it a little bit larger than fescue. Fescue is more like this. So a curve with a loop on top. And then where we stopped, we're going to go over just a little bit, and we're going to aura that. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to this inside line, and I'm going to come around and go to the inside of this one. It's going to meet right here. Okay, so I'm going to go around and connect there, and then this one is going to go around and connect there. So we've got this loopy little yarn. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to start with this loop here. And then I start where I ended. I just go over slightly. And I make that loop, or that aura. And then I'm going to go from this inside one and I'm going to end at the inside of that one. And this outside one is going to end right there as if it's tucking under the other one. All right, so that is Loopz. All right, we're only going to make it one time in this little sunshine pattern. All right, I'm going to do mine in pencil to get it just right, and then I will trace it. Okay, so what I would like to do is I would like that little loop part to be at the bottom center. So I'm actually going to put in that little loop where I want it. And then I'm going to curve down, but not touch that line. Is that kind of hard to see? And then I'm going to go just to the side of that. Oh, sorry. And I'm going to follow it around. And I'm going to go all the way to that edge. And we're going to use this outer edge as part of our loop. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my little spot here where I want the next line to meet. Okay, I want it to meet there. So what I'm going to do now, because I've got this circle to work inside of, mine is going to aura this whole circle. And then it's going to come up right there and meet. And this bottom one would follow the outside of the circle. And then when it gets about here, it's going to jump up and meet. Did that make sense? I'm going to erase mine and do it once more. You do not have to erase yours. I just want to go through it one more time because we did it in this little circle. Okay. So I'm going to begin with that loop. And then when I go down, I'm going to pretend like this is that outer circle. So I'm going to come down here and then I'm just going to follow it like an aura. Then I'm going to go beside this one, come up and around, and I'm going to curve until I meet that edge. I want it to be nice and smooth. I'll make my little mark over here. And I'm going to take this inside line and I'm going to aura the whole outside. All the way around till it connects. And then that bottom part, we would draw this if we weren't already in a circle. So I come around, and then right here is where it would probably come back up and meet. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go over that with the ink. I'm tracing over my circle just because it's really light. There we go. Okay, now I know we've done a lot of striping, a lot, and we're only on day 14, but I just like that as an enhancement to these tangles. So on the inside of this little sunshine shape, I'm going to do some very light striping, and I'm going to lift my pen slightly as I go to give it this kind of a reflective look to it. So see how lightly I'm going compared to over here where I push down really hard. And I'm going so light, and sometimes I'm just picking up my pen in the slightest. And do the same thing in the center, although if you wanted to ink that all the way in, you could. And I'm going to do it on the bottom as well. And then each of these little sun rays, I'm going to do some of them with the lines, and other ones I'm just going to put orbs in. So every other one, I'll do striping and then I'll do orbs. I just thought it would be fun on one of these little tiles to do an object. So a little sunshine. Now, if you click on the link to Loopz in the document that 7 Forests, 5 Rivers provides, the creator has a beautiful example of how she makes loops on a larger tile, and she just tucks in some behind and around each other, and it looks amazing. So one all by itself is fun, but you definitely can put more than one together. Okay, I'm going to pick up my pencil for a tiny bit of shading. I'm going to go on the inside edge. All the way around it. And the inside of that loop. And underneath and the outside there. And this one reminds me a little bit of, let me see if I can find it, of Kupu Poly, where it has that little loop. This one's just more in the shape of a heart, where this one is in a circle shape. Okay, then I'm going to take my blending tool and I'm going to just make little circles and pull this out towards the center. And then with my blending tool, I've got some graphite on it already. I'm just going to give a little shadow on the outside of each of these, which artistically that probably doesn't make sense, but just to give it a little more personality. There we go, that's Loopz. I hope you have a lot of fun with that one, and we will see you tomorrow for January 15th. Thank you, bye-bye.